Happy birthday, Buddhas! This is Suseon from Grand Rapids, and I want to tell you the story of the Buddha's birth today. Thus have I heard that in northern India, in a small kingdom called Kapilavastu, there lived a king named Suddhodana and his queen named Maya. And one night, as Queen Maya lay sleeping, she had a wonderful and marvelous dream. She dreamt that she was taken to the mountains of the Himalayas, transported there by 4 young gods. And there they took her to the shores of the Anathata lake and bathed her there in the waters. And then they dressed her in beautiful robes and prepared a couch for her to lay down on. And as Maya lay there looking up at the sky, she saw beautiful, big, fluffy clouds in the sky. And as she watched, she noticed that one of those clouds turned into a giant white elephant with 6 tusks. And in its trunk, it was holding a beautiful white lotus flower. As she watched the elephant, it shrunk down into a beautiful, magnificent ball of white light and drifted down slowly towards her. Slowly it drifted until finally it entered into her right side. When Queen Maya awoke, she told her husband, King Suddhodana, about her dream, about this wonderful and marvelous dream that seemed so real. And she said to her husband, "Please, please, my king, what can this dream mean?" And the king didn't know, so he went with Maya to the wise men who lived there in the kingdom. And they asked them, what can this dream mean? And the wise men said, "Oh, great king and queen, this is a most wonderful and marvelous dream indeed. For this dream means that the queen will soon give birth to a son. And this son will one day become a great man." Now, in this time in history, it was custom for women when they were about to give birth that they would travel to their mother's home so that they could be there with their mother and all of the women who helped to raise them in the moment of their birth. And so Queen Maya and all of her attendants gathered all of their things together to make the long journey to her mother's house in Devadaha, a nearby city. And as they were traveling, Queen Maya soon began to feel the pains of childbirth coming on. She soon felt that the baby was coming. So they stopped to rest, and they found a place that's called the Lumbini Gardens, or the Lumbini Grove. And it's this beautiful park. So they stopped there to rest and got prepared for the baby to be born. And there in the middle of the park was a huge sala tree. And it seemed as if even the animals and the plants and everything around in that garden must have known that something special was going to happen, because it seemed like that great sala tree bent down its branches. And from that branch that was hanging down, Queen Maya grasped onto it. And there in a standing position, she gave birth. Now it's said that this baby was so special that right from the moment he was born, he was able to stand firmly on his feet. And it is said that he took 7 steps to the north. And there he looked around him to the 4 different directions. And then he raised one hand up towards the sky and pointed the other hand down to the earth. And he spoke. And he said, "I am the highest in the world. I am the best in the world. I am foremost in the world. This is my last birth. There will be no renewal of being for me." Now, have you ever seen a newborn baby? I've seen a few. And I've never seen a newborn baby that was able to walk and talk on its first day. But I do know that that baby grew up to be the Buddha. And I do know that what the Buddha was able to do was truly wonderful and marvelous. Because the Buddha was able to be fully mindful and fully aware whenever feelings arose within him. And he was able to be mindful and fully aware of those feelings as they were present in him. And he was able to be fully aware of those feelings as they disappeared. Truly wonderful and marvelous. And I know that the Buddha, once he became enlightened, he was also able to see perceptions and thoughts. He was able to be mindful and fully aware of those perceptions and those thoughts as they arose within him, as they were present, and as they disappeared. And I know that as truly wonderful and marvelous as that is, that all stories seem to go a little bit better with just a little bit of magic in them. And so every year we can repeat the story of the Buddha's birth with all of its wonderful and marvelous magical elements. And just imagine how wonderful and marvelous the Buddha truly was. Thank you so much, and please be well.